Hi there, so it's Monday the 22nd of April and we're at the Church of St Lawrence, which is hardly surprising because we're in Finland. Now, most churches from this period of 1460 circa CE were dedicated to St Lawrence across the whole of Finland, in fact. But as time's gone on, a lot of the churches have rededicated themselves, some even to St Bridget, believe it or not. So there we are. But this church is quite fascinating. It's all of original context, really, to be fair. You can see even what people have done. They've gradually worked on the artwork there up on the ceilings. We can see that there's a bit of a towel there. Now, if we look at the aspects of Roslin Chapel, especially in the southwest quadrant of Roslin Chapel, and we compare that to this particular aspect, if I can just get you zoomed in there to show you, one would hope that anyone would see the similarity in the tale that's being told, which would almost confirm that the story is there within Roslin itself, and ironically here, from the period of 1460, which is quite a remarkable task to do, really, to be fair. But what connection does this have to Roslin? What connection does it have to anything, really? I think we'd have to speak to those people of the time and wonder if we were able to and see where they were, what they were doing, what they were thinking. We know the Templars were still pretty high at that point in time. And if we look round, we can certainly see the Templar aspect and the Templar feel. Yes, we've got the usual circle cross, we've got the crossed, we've got the various aspects there. But one telltale sign, which we'll get to shortly, will give the game away totally, I guess. First of all, we've got it's the oldest ship. It's from about circa 1570, actually, when we get over to there. I think it's 1570. The ship is one of the oldest ship models in I need to say Iceland then, in Finland. In Finland. So, yeah, fascinating. But you can just get the feel and the sense of all this here. It's amazing, amazing. It's a well cared for church. The gardens are there and the grounds are there. They kindly let us in. You wouldn't normally be able to get into this place. So it's normally locked during the week. So it was quite fortuitous to be here. You see a little guild there. Anyone who's interested. A little guild cross. Quite interesting. That's faded over time, sadly, but there's a marking here of articles. But if we can just go around there, I just want to show you this up there. I'm not really interested in that figure, but what I am interested in is the little scroll to the side. Now, I'm not quite sure how much we can actually obtain from that, if I can zoom in, to see the actual markings that are on that particular scroll. I don't know how much of that you can see. It's quite hard to grab. But it's given us an equation, a frequency, which is quite fascinating. Or not to some, I guess. You know, it's hardly surprising. It would be there, really, to be fair, in a church such as this. We've got the original books here. We can see that back to its time. I'm trying to get you there without the lighting on it. If I can. I think I've got you there. Lovely acoustics. Can you hear that? You've got some of the keys that were cast from new locks in 1963, we can see there. So obviously they had the locks recast at some point. Those lovely keys there, it's a nice little touch in the church. I particularly find these interesting. If we look at these wonderful things. Now, what do you propose that is? People say, oh, it's a lamb. It's not a lamb, that's a goat. So we have the goat on the shield. Quite interesting from a Masonic point of view as well, to have the goat and the hearts laid open on the marks. We'll just come round there, just give you a little feel through here. So this is in a place called Pernio, or Pernio, in Finland. I do like the pulpit, actually. It's quite nice. It's a modern one. We can see it's been replaced, obviously, but it's been replaced with love. It sort of blends in quite nicely, modern to old, and vice versa. We've got a few little characters up here on the old ceiling there. So I'll just get you up there to see just get you there if I can. I think we might lose some of the lighting there as we go round. Yeah, sadly lose a bit of the lighting there as we go round. But it's worthwhile catching if you can. This particular altar is amazing. This is parts of it are the actual original back to the day. It's not all original, obviously. This lower part was added somewhere in the 17th, 1723, 1724. But then it's the upper part that's of great interest. If we can just see that. And yes, we've got the Last Supper again, a lovely, beautiful representation of the Last Supper. I want everyone to know and see that there's always, we always talk about breaking bread. And yes, there are some bread there, but on this occasion, if you see, look, there's a knife there, there's some bread, there's some meat. And if you look at the Jesus in his representation, he's actually got blood on his right hand. So, where he's been feasting from the table. Now, one thing I find particularly of interest is that you would be led to believe that there's only one female in that particular artwork. There's actually two. Yes, we can see the old lengthy story of Mary Magdalene as we talk about her over here. In green, funny enough, in green. But look at this character here. You know, that is definitively a lady as well. So there's two females there. And that says 1,000 stories, doesn't it? Two females at the Last Supper? Really? Could that be so? So interesting, isn't it? Very interesting. I love the little carvings here we've got. We've got one of the heart there. Now notice we've got two maidens again. So we've got in effect two maidens in the Last Supper there. But we've also got two maidens here as well. Now one is carrying a heart and one is carrying a sphere. Makes you wonder what the representations of those could possibly be, really. But let's go back to that picture one more time, because it's probably one of the best pieces I've seen in a very long time. It's a much more realistic representation. You know, they didn't just break bread and eat bread at the table. They feasted on meat, on creatures, as they should. And here, look at this shield here. This is beautiful. Worn through time. It's original, but absolutely gorgeous. I'm sorry for standing on somebody's little tomb there. I'll show you that in a moment. I often wonder why it's a bit of a weird thing in these churches that the tombs are encased in the floor where people walk upon. And this is of particular interest because this is all about death, look. And we see the serpent. It's not a dragon. It's not St. George. It's a serpent there. And it's the reaper, in effect. The serpent and the reaper. I'm going to get a better picture of that afterwards because I quite enjoy that particular piece there. I love the fact that he's putting the rod into the serpent there. As we can see, look, the rod's going into the serpent round. It's of particular interest. Now, this is a little baby I wanted to talk to you about. As I say, this one. It's the oldest, I don't know how much you can see through the lighting, but it's the oldest model in the entire area of Finland. It's amazing, actually, in detail. That's why it's preserved behind the glass there. But if you can see the actual detail, painstaking details that's gone into that wonderful model over the years, running down there. Very good. So all in all, it's a very good church. Very good church. It's got a great feel about it. Considering Finland can have those quite chaotic energies around. But all in all, the actual church itself is truly blessed. Truly blessed. Monday the 22nd, Pernio, Quest 39 in Finland.